What is Hawaiian music? To some, an ancient chant, or the easy strumming of an ukulele or slacky guitar. To others, nostalgic dance music from the 40s. For many, it's a language and sweet vocal quality that is unmistakably Hawaiian. In truth, Hawaiian music is all these things and more. It's a natural connection with everything that is Hawaii. The songs of Hawaii are not always of the language or of a certain rhythm or type of music. Rather, it is the music of the heart and the people that make it, like Violet Lei Collins. Lei Collins has come full circle. Born near Kealakekua Bay along the jagged Kona coast of Hawaii, Lei grew up in a gentle place filled with family, friends, and wonderful music.
It's rather a historical area that I was born in, and throughout my life I think this was a little touch of that created a historical value in my life. As a child, I was surrounded with so much beauty, surrounded with so much music, not only in school and church as well, and our family surrounding. It was a sort of a daily, it was a sort of a happy atmosphere that I was brought up in. But in my case, I had a goal, and I thought that music was something beyond nature's control.
And so would begin a lifelong adventure in music, one that would take Lei Collins around the world and through the hearts of so many people and back again to Kona, to Hulihe'e Palace, along that same jagged coast where she was born. Lei Collins, musician, songwriter, poet, kumua'o, teacher. In 1932, at the age of 19, something would happen that would change Lei Collins' life forever. She would lose her husband after having 2 children and move to Oahu. Honolulu in 1932 was a city on the verge of enormous change. Radio and telephone service had just connected the islands with the mainland, and soon, Pan American World Airways would make its first 20-hour flight to Honolulu, bringing the world to Hawaii as never before. It was a time like no other in the history of Hawaii. It was around this time, one warm summer morning, that Lei would meet Charles E. King, leader of the Royal Hawaiian Band and acknowledged by many as the Dean of Hawaiian music.
I met this very wonderful man, Charlie King, composer, writer of songs, also was a bandmaster of the Royal Hawaiian Band at that time. And he also had a group of young ladies named by him, that he was training. And these women were just glorious. They were just beautiful group of women. And women singing at various functions for the governor and all that, and how I admired them. A little country girl coming over and looking at all this splendor is so beautiful. Why I wanted to be a member of that organization. Lo and behold, I was asked to join this beautiful organization.
The Royal Hawaiian Band is the oldest and most important band in Hawaii. It has played an important role in the development and preservation of Hawaii's rich musical heritage. The origins of the Royal Hawaiian Band reach back to the 1830s during the reign of Kamehameha III. But it wasn't until the 1870s and this man, Heinrich Berger, that the band reached the level of excellence that they have been noted for ever since. The Royal Hawaiian Band has always occupied a central place in the social and cultural life of Honolulu. They have performed at virtually every important official function since its inception, a tradition that continues even today.
There I was, and the door was wide, wide open. We Charlie King and Brian Mossman, these are two beautiful names. Elder Coito, who was my teacher at Columbine High School. And of course, I can't leave my Aunt Helen Parker out of this either. These four people shaped my life at the very, very beginning.
Leigh's teachers had a tremendous impact on her life, giving her a way of seeing the world she never dreamed possible. It's not surprising that Leigh eventually found herself working with young people for the city and county of Honolulu.
My work at that time, in 1941, was to create activities at the various playgrounds, all island, the whole island of Oahu. And I had to have an incentive, and that incentive was to sing over the radio on KGU, and we called it it was already there. The city and county had a program going on, and oh boy, how I wanted to get our city and county, the children, to be singing on that program, which happened.
In 1933, the Department of Parks and Recreation in Honolulu initiated the Playground Quarter Hour, a radio program featuring Hawaii's best young musical talent. When Leigh became Recreation Supervisor of Music, she saw this as the perfect opportunity for her aspiring young musicians.
Not only the children sang, the kupunas all sang. And they were just beautiful. We called it the City County Recreation Quarter Hour.
Radio has always played an important role in the development of Hawaiian music. From the early 1920s Hapahali music, to Hawaii Calls in the 40s, to the birth of contemporary Hawaiian music in the 70s. Radio has always provided a place for the best in Hawaiian music to perform and be heard.
Well, the Sorias have been involved for 3 generations. Grandfather was Harold G. Soria, and he became known as the Dean of Hawaiian Radio. He was basically a solicitor or a salesman of radio time for KGU, the first station in Hawaii. Dad was Harry B. Soria, and he was the first disc jockey. He was in the 30s and into the early 40s also on KGU. And I am Harry B. Soria Jr., the third Harry Soria in Hawaii, and I got involved in the 1970s on KCCN with a program called Territorial Airwaves. The golden age of radio and of Hawaiian music actually coincide, and radio had a very powerful effect on popularizing Hawaiian music, especially Hapahali music, worldwide. Radio was king in the 20s, 30s, and 1940s, and it brought generations Hawaiian music for the very first time.
Another place for musicians to work and perform were hotels on Waikiki Beach. The Biltmore, the Moana, the Royal Hawaiian, and the Halekulani provided venues for the great and the up-and-coming.
I went on to the Halekulani Hotel. With all partial of these experiences that I've had with Charlie King, Brian Mossman, all these lovely, my life was just so enriched to the point that I thought, well, I am ready now to help. Danny Kalei Kinney was a beautiful old guy. When he was brought to me by his father, he said, listen to my boy, he had a nice voice. And I said, if you say so, let's listen to him. Well, let me tell you, that voice sang. You can see the determination in his face. I can still see him.
I just came off from Papakolea, and I knew nothing about show business, but I just wanted to sing, and I think she gave us an opportunity, to prove yourself, because I wasn't the only singer there. I was just one of the singers there, and the experience that I got, from Auntie Leigh, and she gave us that opportunity. See, Auntie Leigh was filled with so much love and aloha. That thing was blooming from one side to the other side of her face. But this was Auntie Lei Collins. I'm very fortunate because I learned from all the masters, and I've learned not only from Auntie Lei Collins, but I learned from Ray Kinney, the Dean of Island Entertainers. I learned from Andy Cummings. I learned from Haunani Kahaliwai, Pua Almeida, Benny Kalama, Jimmy Kapuiki. These were the masters at the time I was growing up, and I learned and watched all of them, and everybody had different mannerisms. I could pick it up. Auntie Lei had that aloha that came from within, that mana'o, that spirit that was for real. And I think what she shared with all of us made it comfortable, and and kind of showed me the way what life is all about. But I think most important, she showed us that that love and aloha kikahi kikahi. So my feeling is our kupunas have much to offer. Tutu wahine, tutu kane, makua wahine, makua kane. And to them, I just want to say mahalo and thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I've learned so much, not only from them, but from my kupunas as well. As we say in Hawaiian, mahalo ni lo ka ako aloha ma ko ia oe, na ke akua e ho'opo mai ka ia oe. Aloha ke akua.
1946 marked the beginning of the post-war era and the birth of something called the Aloha Week Festival, a celebration of Hawaii's music, dance, and multicultures. A year after its opening, Lei was named Aloha Week's first ambassador and began traveling the world, spreading the image of aloha through music and dance. Finally, after a career that has spanned over 50 years, Lei returned to Kona as curator of Hulihe'e Palace to continue what has become her life's work, preserving Hawaii's traditions. It is Hulihe'e that is the inspiration for this song, written by Lei Collins.
This is the interpretation of Hulihe'e. Beautiful Hulihe'e, home of royalty. The flag of Hawaii, protective of your treasures. Transparent as the sacred pool of Kiope. This is a very historical pool. And this is where the royal families had their bath. As we glance with pride, oh beautiful Niumalu. Niumalu is that beach as you enter, and this is where history tells us, this is where Kamehameha brought his canoes in, and the landing, that was his landing into the palace grounds. Then to the eyes of the multitude, you stand with dignity. Then you are like a beam beside the Kailua Kona Bay, which he is. With love and caring for you, life will always prevail. Cradled in the bosom of Hualalai, these praises are for you, for your standards. Hulihe'e. These praises are for you. That's right, it's simple poetry, but put into music, so rich. And the youngsters of today are dancing it just thrills me.
Lei Collins has come full circle. She is part of a long and noble heritage that is Hawaiian music. Listen to the words of Hulihe'e, or Ke Aloha, or Laimana, songs she's written and famous for. They will tell you as much about the writer as the things she's singing about. They will show you the heart and soul of Lei Collins. They will show you the heart and soul of Hawaii.
No hoi ka la